let's get into what you got going on now, man.
Yeah.
All right. So what exactly are you running for? No, I guess we can't go there for. We can't go that way. So how did you start getting into, you know what I'm saying, paying attention to politics and maybe want to insert yourself into the one day? Like, what was going on between the football and being a lawyer? How did that become a part of the whole equation?
Yeah, bro. I think it was right around like my sophomore year in college. We had like a partnership with UIC John Marshall, and that's a law school, and they was offering like this course. It was like a free course, and they would give you college credit, and you could go downtown once a week and learn about like housing and you know, like the segregation in Chicago, why Chicago is the way it is, and like redlining and all of that historical stuff on why Chicago is the way it is.
And why is it because of racism? That's what redlining all it is.
Yeah,
right?
basically, you know, systematic racism, you know, white flight. You know,
so everybody knows that. I just want to be clear. So everybody knows that, like the politicians and stuff, they know that.
Oh yeah. I mean, they should. I mean, that's like Chicago history, you know.
Yeah, but I'm saying it don't change though. It don't change.
Yeah, the machine. They done built the machine, you know, and I think now, you know, I think we gonna get into that, how it's kind of breaking down a little bit. But for the most part, yeah, they built the machine. You know, they built the city. The federal government was involved with it. You know what I mean? That's why this whole conversation around reparations is starting to happen, because the federal government was involved in this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got promises of 40 acres and a mule that we ain't never get, you know? But yeah, bro. So I got involved with that. And I remember meeting, he was like a professor down there. I think his name was Lewis Powell. He's also an attorney. And I told him, I was like, man, I just want to get involved in what's going on. I got a heart for the community. I want to serve. And he was like, man, you should connect with AAA BNA. And that's short for the Austin African American Business Networking Association. That's why everybody's just say AAA BNA, because that's a long name. And man, I just started getting connected with a whole bunch of like community organizations, bro. College mentoring experience. And then I just started getting involved with like the schools, bro. I started hosting like peace circles at Brunson Elementary right over there on Central. Met a teacher there by the name of Miss O, bro. She was very helpful. Chicago Police Department was right there, the 15th District Police, Officer Ramirez and Martinez. And then I started volunteering, bro, with the police district, and man, just, you know, working with faith leaders and business owners, bro. And yeah, it's a big old. And right now in Chicago, Mayor Lori Lightfoot got this Invest Southwest initiative. And basically it's like this big old pot of money going to the south and west sides. They got like 10 places where they want to build up like the business districts in the areas. Basically like, you know, communities of color, you know, black areas really, and black and Hispanic areas. And one of them is on Chicago Avenue between Austin and Cicero, and they calling it Soul City. So you from Chicago, bro. You know Chinatown, Greektown, Little Italy. You got all these cultural enclaves, right? And these people, and they also work as like they call like economic drivers, where it can create money. You know, why don't we got that for black people? And so, you know, now we do. We got Soul City, basically like kind of like a rebuilding of Black Wall Street, bro. And so it was just from there, like I started, you know, I had to work with the city, bro. I had to work with the community, and I just started seeing like, dang, like this, it's a bigger picture to this. So, and that kind of just started getting me, piquing my interest in like politics a little bit.
Okay, that's definitely dope. That's definitely dope, because you know Chicago. Well, I don't know if you know, because you did spend time in Texas, but it's a few places in Chicago that was, you know what I'm saying, kind of like Black Wall Street. Like I hear stories all the time. I'm 31, so I hear stories all the time from just people in my family. I don't know if you familiar with Madison Pulaski, but like before the King riots, that was like a supreme shopping spot. You know what I'm saying? You can see the skyline from right there and everything. And people will literally say this place look like this since the King riots. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely got the spots like that. But before we move on, I want to ask you, what made you want to stay here though? Like, why didn't you get the information you got? Like, man, I want to take this to Texas. Did you feel like it's a bigger need? Did you feel more connected, or was it, you know what I'm saying, when you got off the plane and the city was talking to you? It's just from that point.
I guess a little bit of all of that, bro. For me, it was just like, I know whatever happened in Chicago, bro, is like world news, and Chicago got so much history in it, you know. and a lot of black excellence, bro. A lot of I didn't even know Martin Luther King, bro, was in Chicago until I came here and like seen the Legacy Apartments right over there, bro, and just learned about the movements, bro. And you know how much power was in Chicago, and so I knew I wanted to tap into that power base, and especially like in Texas, at least where I grew up, it wasn't a strong black power base. Or if you right now, if I'm running for politics in Texas where I live, and I look like how I look with blonde hair, it ain't, you know, ain't a lot of people that look like me doing that, bro. But here it is, and I knew that especially with young black men, we was struggling a lot more than how he was in Texas. Like, you know, we struggling where I grew up in Dallas, but in Chicago, you know, a lot more people, right? A lot more segregation. And I was like, man, this is an area that needs to see somebody like me. You know, this is an area that needs to see like a positive image, you know, a positive role model. And man, as I started getting involved in the community, making connections, it like became my family. You know, the West Side is really like, you know, the best side, but
definitely for sure.
But it's really, you know, it's smaller, so people know each other, right? It got like a family vibe to it, bro. And man, I can definitely say that man, Chicago has become my family, bro. Austin has become my family. So yeah.
Man, that's dope. That's dope, man. And no bullshit, man. This could be a biopic up to this point. You know what I'm saying? It could be a flick, man. That might be something you need to start writing on, man.
Yeah,
at least the biography, man. At least the biography, man. So okay, man. So you got your hands in all these pots, man. You working with all these different groups and stuff. Was it suggested to you that, like, man, you should run for some type of office, or was it once you got into these circles, it became a goal of yours? Like, how did it become that important that you was like, I want to represent these people?
Yeah, you know, once I just understood, you know, the political structure, and people will always say like, man, you know, you got a great story, you know, you're doing great work, you know, you got the education, you know, you might be a good fit for Alderman, you know, especially with the work that I was doing on Chicago Avenue, just, and really in the community, but specifically, you know, that forced me to work with the city. I had to work with the state. You know, I had to work with faith leaders. I had to work with business owners. I had to work with youth and seniors. And I was really like, kind of like an alderman on a smaller scale. And I was like, man, you know, how beautiful would it be for me to be able to take this to the next level? Because as I moved around the ward, people told me like, you know, I don't really see my alderman that much. You know, I don't really know him. He doesn't really come around. You know, he's hard to reach. You know, he don't really communicate with the people. And I'm like, man, I do all of that stuff. So like, you know, I really just want to see the people thrive. Like I want to let people know that, you know, somebody care about them. They elected officials care, bro. And that really is what prompted me just to be able to serve the people and let them know, like, you know, don't give up on government yet. Like I had, but now I'm kind of running to let people know, like, no, it's power in this. Like we can organize and we can mobilize and create some power and really bring resources and some change to our area.
Okay. So what exactly goes into being an alderman, and what district are you running for?
Yeah, so I always tell people like the city of Chicago, you know, it's big. And you know, they got a mayor and they basically split the city up into like 50 different wards, they call them, right? And right now I'm running in the 29th ward, which is like this area, like the Austin area, you know, down Austin to like, you know, Central, and then it even goes like past North Avenue to like Harlem and Belmont. So
like 15th, 25th district.
Yeah, 15th, 25th police district, Galewood, a little bit of Belmont Cragen, you know, Austin area. But yeah, you know, basically like your alderman, you know, they meet once a month with the mayor to kind of give an update, you know, on their ward. They vote on, you know, like the budget, you know, big development happening in the city, you know, basically big city decisions. And then when they're not meeting with the mayor, they at least they should be, you know, in their wards. You know, you got a pothole that need to be fixed. Your tree just fell down in your yard or is dead. Your alderman need to remove that. If somebody, you know, trying to bring like a restaurant to the ward and they want to serve liquor, the alderman can give them like a liquor license, or they can say, no, this area is dry. Like we can't have no alcohol here. And they also, you know, responsible for like development that happens. Somebody want to bring a gym or somebody want to bring a grocery store. You know, that has to go through the alderman.
Okay, so I want to ask you about your personal views on Chicago's mayor and Chicago's police.
Man, that's a loaded question.
You take one at a time. Unload it a little bit.
Yeah, I unload it. Let me unwind that. So, bro, I've read that the mayor of Chicago is the most powerful position in America behind behind the president.
Really?
Yes.
Why is that?
Just because it's, you know, Chicago. It's just like it's a world class city, you know. And you know, I think they said Chicago is like the second best city in the world. You know, so many different cultures, right? So much history in it, so much money. You know, a lot of organizations here. So, man, that's really like being the president almost, just with the stress and the pressure and so many different groups that you have to advocate for. So it's a hard job, bro, for anybody that's trying to do it. I worked with Mayor Rahm Emanuel previously on, he had like a retail Thrive Zone project. Mayor Lori Lightfoot got in office and kind of continued the program, added her own little flair to it. And so, man, there's like 9 different people running against her right now. You know, obviously, you know, somebody, they want to see a change, right? And so, you know, as far as the mayor, you know, tip, that's a hard race right now. You got 9 different candidates, you know, and each of them got experience from different fields. He even got the young guy Jamal Green, you know, running. So you got the guy right here from the West Side, Brandon Johnson, running. You know, right here in the 29th ward. And so it's a stacked race, but you know, I guess we're gonna see what happened, you know, on February 28th.
Well, with the Chicago mayors, I think I would love for Jamal Green to be the mayor, just because I feel like that blood, the younger generation man up into somebody who has boots on the ground. I feel like that's kind of what the city needs most. But at the same time, you do gotta cater to all these different communities, and a lot of people just want the, you know what I'm saying, the next best politician, you know what I'm saying, in that spot. So it's definitely a difficult, you know what I'm saying, a difficult race to get in to even be a part of. So with you kind of having to deal with the mayor and having to deal with the Chicago police, what up to this point before getting into this field and why you went to it, what has been your views and experiences with the Chicago police?
Yeah, bro. I think police in general, especially when it comes to the black community, we don't have the best relations. Because police was slave patrols originally. You know, if you look back in history, and America has a racist history, you know, most of the law enforcement is white. Even now in the Chicago Police Department, I think they said like, you know, 37 majority of the officers are white. And you know, that's an issue when you have a Chicago that's so diverse and, you know, has cultures from around the world in it, bro. And so I think that, but I also think at the same time that media plays a big role in tensions between community and officers. There's a lot of good that happens with officers in the community that doesn't get highlighted. You know, we only see the bad things. Like today, I was just at a meeting with the commander of the 25th district, Commander Gutierrez, I believe his name is, and we were at the McDonald's, and they gave us like free drinks. You know, they gave us free burgers, cookies. They updated us on what was going on in the community. They brought resources out. Like, why was the news not there? Like putting that on TV. You know, they had DCO officers there. They had the youth liaison officers there, bro. Business liaison officers there, and it was just good vibes. You know, and it was like real down to earth. You know, like real good interactions. And I've also had good interactions with the 15th Police District. I think they one of the best districts in the city. A lot of the commanders get promoted out of there.
Too. And
you
it's
think
crazy
so too?
how, but the 25th for me is like here.
When you compare them to 15, I think 15 is the best. So anytime you comparing, you know, somebody to the best, it's always gonna be that, you know. Sure. But I think 15.
I feel like I see more minorities in 15. I know 25th got a lot of Hispanic police officers.
Yeah.
But me growing up in the 25th district, you know what I'm saying, growing up with my little troubles and stuff, you know what I'm saying, you do the crime, do the time, whatever, walk the bop, that's cool. But at the same time, it's a little hint of systematic, you know what I'm saying, racism, because I grew up in the era of the stop and search, you know what I'm saying. So stop and frisk, I don't know if you're familiar with that. So we could just be walking down the street and they can just be like, oh yeah, get on the wall and just search us every day, take our shoes off in the snow, all type of stuff. So what I say, you know what I'm saying, that's why I love what people like you and Jamal Green are doing, because sometimes, even though we all may speak English, sometimes they send people in the community that don't speak our language. You know what I'm saying? So just from that barrier, that language barrier, you know what I'm saying, he could be trying to say hi, but just the way he say it or the way he move, you know what I'm saying, now it's a little like, why you know what I'm saying? So I feel like we need more people. It might seem, you know what I'm saying, easier said than done, but I feel like we have more officers, you know what I'm saying, from the communities that they were actually patrolling. It'll help with the community relations a little bit, but hopefully that's something that you could help as well, with you being an alderman and kind of being the linchpin between the two people. So